Paraya Krishna Prishnaya Bodale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamine Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishmisha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we stopped with 518 breakout room, which says Vidya Vinaya Sambhanne Brahmane Kavihastini Shuni Chaiva Sabakisa Pandita Samadarshina. Right? So Pandita Samadarshina, a learned person, he sees everyone equally. And we saw that here Brahmana and a cow was Sattva is in Sattva elephant was in Rajaguna, and dog and the cow is even though he was there, still a Pandita. Everyone equal because he is Paramatma in everyone's hand. Yeah, Prabhu, we finished this now with the breakout room. I'm just writing. Okay, so we finished the breakout room by seeing that Prabhupada's qualities as a Pandita. And also in Bhagavatam, it says the different qualities of a devotee. Titikshva Karunika Sukhrita Sarvadehina Sadashat Vashanda Yadava Sadhupushna. Sukhrita Sarvadehina, his friend of everyone. Symptoms of the sadhu is that he is tolerant. Titikshva Karunika is merciful. Sukhrita Sarvadehina, he is friendly to all living entities. Ajata Shatrava, he doesn't have any enemies. Shanta, he is peaceful. And he abides by the scriptures. Okay, that's the characteristics of the sadhu. And all these qualities you can see in Srila Prabhupada. And Jesus Christ, when he was crucified, what happened? What did he say? I mean, what did he pray for? Or what did he? Does anyone know?
Forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Yeah, so they don't know what they're doing. So please forgive them. The same thing you can see in Haridas Thakur's case also. What happened to Haridas Thakur? Where?
He was beaten in 22 marketplaces.
Yeah, even he was beaten in the 22 marketplaces. For what? Because he chanted the holy name. And then when Haridas Thakur also prayed the same thing, that please forgive these people who's beating me, because they're doing Vaishnava Paras, right? But Haridas Thakur was so merciful to them, so compassionate that, but then Haridas Thakur never felt any pain. Why? Didn't feel any pain. Why? Even though he was beaten in 22 marketplaces, didn't feel any pain.
He was totally in an elevated situation, Mataji, completely.
He was a pure devotee. But someone else was.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, Mahaprabhu actually embraced him. So what happened? He was chanting the holy name. He was actually asking Krishna to forgive him. Then, since he was confident, he started Lord actually.
Hare Krishna Mataji, there's a disturbance in your voice for only me or for everyone?
Disturbance, understand? It's breaking?
Yeah, yeah.
Even for me. I can't hear you properly, Mataji.
Okay, better now? Hare Krishna?
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, it is better, but sometimes in between it keeps breaking.
Yeah, I don't know why. What happens? Then I have some headphones issues. Okay, if it's breaking, please let me know. Okay, again, if it is wrong. Okay, so Haridas Thakur was embraced by the Lord, and hence he didn't feel any pain. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was also tortured different ways by his father, he was constantly chanting the holy name. Pandavas, when there were so many problems happened, still they were always with Krishna. I mean, they never asked, why me? No? So these people are suffering the karmas, that is Prahlad and Pandavas and all? Is it their karmas haunting them? What do you think?
They have accompanied the Lord for the Leela, I guess, Mataji.
Yes, so they are not suffering the karma. They are eternally liberated souls. No, they are Nitya Siddhas, not like us. They have come to teach us a lesson. Actually, Krishna teaches us lesson through his devotees. So Krishna has sent Prahlad, Krishna has sent the associates as Pandavas and the Brahma as Haridas Thakur, so as to teach us lesson or as a pastime, as Mataji said, for the pastime purpose to prove how great his devotees is. Okay, so we'll continue with 519. Ihaiva tairjita sarpo yesham samye sthitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te stitaha. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. So it is said, those whose minds are established in sameness, equanimity. The mind doesn't get flickered in happiness or distress, fame, infamy, like that. Okay. And they have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. Okay. What does this mean? Already conquered the conditions of birth and death. What does this mean?
That they're not worried about dying. They are not really concerned with that.
What, Kripa Mataji?
That they're not worried about dying. They are not concerned or not. They're not scared with regards to it.
Yes, so they're not scared about death. That's one way of answering. What else does it mean that they have conquered birth and death?
They've gone above that prema bhava, that level they are in.
Yeah, they are almost in the prema levels. Then
Liberated soul.
they're already liberated. Yes. Yes, Pravina Madhu. They are already liberated in the material body itself. See, liberation doesn't mean only coming out of this body, the soul comes out of the body and no more punarjanma and going back. No, liberation also means in this being in this material body itself, you can be liberated. That means like Srila Prabhupada, like Prahlad Maharaj, he was externally, they are not bothered about what is happening to the body. Just they are above the consciousness so high, they are just thinking about Krishna's pastimes. Okay, so the example given is the two ways of example. Yeah, they are eternal associates. The example given is if there is you are down in the ground floor in the you are not, the flight have not taken, you are inside the flight, and but you see the big buildings like so big, right? But the flight has taken off and you are almost like so much kilometers above, you're flying. And then when you look down, all these skyscraper buildings will look like matchbox, so small, right? So that means now when your consciousness is low, the problems will look so big. But when your consciousness is elevated to Krishna consciousness, then what happens? All problems will become like so small for you. Another example is during rainy season. If you're in the ground floor, you feel like, oh, why this rain? So much, water entering inside the house and so much disturbance in the ground floor. But imagine you're in the 15th floor of the flat. And then you can feel like having hot samosas or bhajis during the rain. No? So that means what, you're enjoying the rain when you're in the top level. So that means even if problems comes, when you're param trishva nivartana, you get a higher taste, then all the problems looks very small to you. And that is called liberated state. So liberated state means even in this material body, they're not bothered about the material things that's happening because their consciousness is fixed on the Lord. So a position of a self-realized person situated in equanimity is such self-realized soul have no attraction or hatred to the matter. Thus, he's flawless and impartial like the Lord. Right? Equanimity of the mind. That is the sign of self-realization. Whatever happens, Prabhupada used to remain calm. Yes, Prabhupada also had tensions, that anxieties, that was spiritual anxiety. Prabhupada's like, you can be anxious for Krishna, how to serve Krishna, thinking about that. So importance of equanimity is at such a stage, one is considered to have conquered material conditions, specifically birth and death. Lord and such a self-realized person are both flawless. On spiritual platform, they are free from all attraction and hatred. This makes living entity eligible for spiritual sky. So that's our pure devotees, okay? Na prahrishye priyam prapya, no dvichet prapya cha priyam, stira buddhir asammodo brahma vid brahmane stitaha. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who's self-intelligent, who's unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence. Okay, so who's unbewildered, he's not confused, he knows the signs of God, that in become Guru. Anybody who knows the signs of God can become Guru. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Kipa vipra kipanyasi shudra kene naya ye Krishna tattavete sei guru haya. It doesn't matter you're a vipra, brahmana, shudra, or a grihastha, sannyasi, whatever. Ye Krishna tattavete. If you know the signs of God or Krishna, then you can become Guru. That's what preaching is happening. right? Sometimes people criticized, even Prabhupada, even ISKCON Mangalore was criticized in the sense, where outside, if you go, only those who have taken initiation preach or become, take classes. But you can see in Prabhupada's style is followed by Namanishta Prabhu. He gives class to whoever knows the science of Krishna, whoever he have, because we all have come as students. So when he sees that somebody knows about the Krishna, he immediately says, okay, you take a class. Go take a class. And people were criticizing, even Prabhupada. He went to the West, and then just they were listening like few lectures from Prabhupada, and immediately Prabhupada will say, okay, you take class, or you just go to Africa, start a center, you go that place, this place. And he was sending people because they know the science of Krishna, and you can become Guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says that. Mahaprabhu said this to whom? Does anyone know? The sentence that it doesn't matter you're a Shudra or anybody. If you know Krishna science, you can become Guru. You're not attending Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Every day it's happening by Namanishta Prabhu. Yes? No idea? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this to Ramananda Rai. Okay, so Ramananda Rai is Vishaka or Arjuna itself, and Ramananda Rai was a grihastha, he was a Shudra, he was a governor, and Mahaprabhu was a Brahmana, a sannyasi. So Mahaprabhu said, talk about Krishna, and Ramananda Rai said, how can I speak? I'm a Shudra, I'm a grihastha. And then Mahaprabhu said the statement, it doesn't matter who you are. You know the science of Krishna, you speak. So actually what was happening in Dwapara Yuga, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna listened. And Kali Yuga, the same Krishna, when came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Arjuna came as, or the Vishaka Saki, or Arjuna came as Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai spoke and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened. That means Arjuna was speaking and Krishna was listening. Just a coincidence like that. And it is also said in 21st sloka, Bahya Sparshve Asat Atma Vindati Atmani Yat Sukam Sabrahma Yoga Yuktatma Sukam Akshayam Ashnute. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. So a self-realized person have unlimited happiness. He doesn't see the external sufferings as suffering, because he is already in trance. Now, already you have tasted gulab jamun. Will you feel like tasting some other sweet? No, because your mouth is fully like exaggerated with sweetness, that all the other taste looks insignificant. You can't taste laddus after eating gulab jamun. Gulab jamun is loaded with sweetness, right? So similarly, you have tasted the ruchi of Krishna consciousness or Bhakti rasa, and then you don't feel like drinking all the material things, no? So that is one thing. Because you have already got the higher taste, yeah. So once you get the higher taste of Krishna consciousness, then no more coming back. Does anyone know that story that stay high forever? Prabhupada Leela Amrita. You should all read Prabhupada Leela Amrita. It is if you read Leela Amrita, then you know you value Prabhupada. There's a synopsis copy of Prabhupada Leela Amrita. Okay, so what happened one day? All the drugs addicts and all these people, hippies, when Prabhupada, when before going to America, he thought America is such a rich country, nobody will be poor. But Krishna made Prabhupada land to a place called Bavari, and in that place, thousands of people were lying on the streets. It's not because they are poor, because they lost in life, like the youngsters. They were becoming hippies. And they were not taking bath. They had these matted hairs and dirty dresses, but they were like smoking and drinking and in drugs. They were just lying down. No? So all these drug addicts, because how did Prabhupada take them to Krishna consciousness? How did Prabhupada take them? Did he speak philosophy to them? Huh?
Oh, Mataji, he told them that I will give you more pleasure than what you are getting with this. Your pleasure is temporary. I will give it to you, which will be always there.
So, yes, Shuddha Mataji, how did he bring them back?
By Krishna Prasad and by Harinam Sankirtan, he said that the drugs will wear off the next morning, but I will give you Harinam Sankirtan and Krishna Prasad, which will never wear off. And the Lord Krishna will dance at your mouth.
Yeah, so what happened? Prabhupada didn't speak philosophy or didn't speak about four regulative principles, nothing. Just chanted Hare Krishna in front of them, went to the Tompkins Square Park and started chanting, and they got attracted to the Harina. And they used to come to Prabhupada's place just to have prasad. Just to have prasad, and sometimes they sleep also in the Harinam and all. Then later, slowly, Prabhupada started Bhagavad Gita discussion, and then they used to eat, just put it there, not even wash the plates, just walk out. And then who will clean and who will do all that? Prabhupada. Just imagine he's an acharya and he's doing all this service. And Prabhupada asked those drug addicts, like, okay, you're taking drugs, and then tomorrow morning again you have to take drugs. Why? Because that if you take drugs, you're reaching to a state where you forget all your material distress, and then next day morning it's gone. The effect is gone. Again you have to take, right? It's like the medicine. Once the medicine's half-life is over, then again you need to take. Otherwise, there's no effect. So Prabhu was like, why do you do this? I'll give you a mantra which will make you stay high forever. And then next day there was a poster made, stay high forever. And then that was distributed everywhere. Everybody's like, stay high forever. Yeah, so that's why now people got confused. Like initially there were some rumors that, oh, the Hare Krishna people, they are like drugs and they're giving. Yes, we are giving drugs, but that is Harinam. Bhava Aushati, that is. It is said, Yene chi Aushati Maya Nashi Lagi Harinama Maha Mantra Lao Mi Magi Jeev Jago Gora Chand Bole Kota Nitra Jao Maya Pishachi Rakule. So it's a Vaishnav bhajan written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says, Jeev Jago, oh soul, get up. How long you'll sleep on the lap of the witch called Maya? We are sleeping, right? So early morning when we don't get up, their friends used to sing this. Jeev Jago, Gaura Chandabole. Gauranga is calling you, get up, spirit soul, and you're sleeping on the lap of the witch called Maya. And Yeneshi Aushati Maya. It's an Aushati. For what? Bhava Aushati. We have Bhava Roka. We are identifying ourselves with this body. We don't know we are spirit soul. So we are in Bhava Roka, and this is Bhava Aushati. And which is it? Harinama Mahamantra. So initially people were like, all this movie also came, no? Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. They think that, oh, we're taking drugs. And all the disciples were upset and they told, Prabhupada, see, they're making like, they're spreading rumors that the Hare Krishnas are just drug addicts, and then they make songs and all that. And Prabhupada's like, that's okay. After a few years, the movie, everyone will forget the movie, but nobody will forget Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. That's what happened. And everyone, the whole country started singing this song, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Prabhupada's like, it's okay. At least in that way, they are chanting Krishna's name. And then finally, everyone got Ajnada Sukritis. And whoever acted in the movies and all, I don't know what happened. They died or something. But then the Harinam always stayed, right? So Prabhupada's like, even that can be taken as a positive thing initially. So that's why when youngsters come to ISKCON, then the family rejects, because many have this misconception about ISKCON, but that's not real fact. There will be always people around to degrade you. But here, that unlimited happiness is what we get from Harinam. Now, all of you would have experienced the same thing. No, you don't feel like going to material place now. You're kind of withdrawing yourself from all material things. But the more and more you're getting attached to Krishna, the more you're getting attached to devotees and festivals and all that. No, why? That's because you got a higher taste. Because you're spirit soul, right? You are naturally attracted to Krishna. Natural. That is, you don't have to teach a child to walk. The child will naturally walk. It's that capacity is inbuilt in the child. You just have to give some practice. That's it. Or motivate the child. But the child, do you have to externally do something? No. Unless there's some disease condition, the child will naturally walk. So naturally, as spirit soul, our constitutional position is Jivera Sorobhoi Krishnera Nityadas. That's a real position. We are just covered by Maya. So a self-realized person, he enjoys the unlimited happiness. Everyone in this world want to be happy, right? That's why they are working so hard to become happy. But this material happiness is temporary. And there's no real happiness in this material world again. So a symptoms of self-realized person, that is Stira Buddhir, okay, steadiness of mind, and Asammudo means unbewildered. This symptom is based on not rejoicing or lamenting for material dualities. Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya Shitoshna Sugaduktada Agamapaino Anityam Samsitakshasa Bharata. So it just keeps coming as summer and winter, right? Based on our karma, it keeps coming. And Sthira Buddhir means steadfastness of mind, not rejoice or lament for bodily relations or achievement. Based on knowledge that he's not this body, but fragmental portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Asammuda means unbewildered. Prajesh, remember I asked that question about freezing the embryo? You remember? You got the answer for that?
Yeah, Mataji. No, Mataji, I didn't get the answer.
No, anybody knows that nowadays there is IVF. Sharada Mataji, you all can try. There's like IVF, no, in vitro fertilization, where the ovum is taken by the from the mother and sperm of the father, and then artificially they fertilize. And after that, they implant to the mother's womb, and the child grows. If there is a soul, if the Krishna have not deposited the soul, then there is failure of pregnancy. That's fine. That's understood. But what happens in a case like they freeze the embryo? In the sense the parents are not ready yet to conceive, but then they're feeling that, oh, what if our age cross? You know, when the mother's age cross, there'll be like Down syndrome and so many other problems, mental disorders to the child. So when they are young, they want to take the ovum out, and they externally they fertilize, and the embryo is ready. There is life, there is soul, this embryo is ready, living, but they freeze the embryo up to a particular period of time, like 6 months to 1 year or something, and till the parents are ready, and they implant that embryo to the mother's womb, and the child grows. So what is happening for the 6 months to 1 year to that soul which has been freezed, or the embryo that's been freezed? Yeah. And that's all modern medical things. But then when you speak on the spiritual side, what is happening there? Any idea?
Mataji, the soul will be at the same position. I can relate it to Mahabharata. What happened to the Kauravas? Like the same thing, like she was not able to give birth, and the pregnancy was continuing, and something like that. And when the lump came out, they were divided into 100 parts.
Gandhari.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
So
yes.
it was divided into 100 parts, and one small part was left from the daughter.
Yes,
So
yes.
it will be something like that only. I think that the embryo will just remain, and the soul, if it is there, it will just keep waiting till the time.
Yes, you're partially right. The soul is just waiting for that particular time. Okay, so that means it's some karma. Okay,
It remains in that suspended animation state, Mataji, that how the souls remain in when the whole thing is dissolved and desolation takes place. Is it something like that?
Yeah, so the soul is almost correct. The soul cannot be freezed, first of all, but then the soul is there, which is in an unconscious state. Okay, it's not conscious yet. It's not conscious of that particular body or a particular place. And there's karma binding. That's, as Prabhu said, yes, there is karma binding. That soul is little sinful. Because of that, it had to wait. And as Mataji said, yes, after annihilation, and then there's a waiting period for the soul to, or after the death, the soul leaves the one body and taking another rebirth. There's a time period, a lapse period, where the soul will not have a body, gross body as such. And you can see the ghost forms after suicide. The subtle body will be loitering around. It doesn't get a gross body. So the soul is not in the state, the soul is not conscious, but there's a lapse period where the soul have to remain somewhere for some time, or wait for till that period where it gets shelter in the mother's womb. And there's karma, actually bad karma coming. But it is said that the soul is unconscious at that time. It's not conscious at the situation yet. So this is what happens. And yes, definitely there's a soul there. But based on some karma, it's been like trapped there for some time. Okay. So Prabhupada, here Krishna explains about the further symptoms of self-realized person. He's not attracted to material sense pleasures, and he's always in trance. Example of higher taste is Yamunacharya. Okay, so Yamunacharya is a guru of Ramanacharya. Okay, and then how whatever small material things is there, they were not at all interested in all that, because they are highly absorbed in higher taste. And Brahma Yoga state is one who's absorbed in Krishna consciousness loses taste for sense pleasure. One can, so Prabhupada's like, you don't have to ask anyone, am I advancing Krishna consciousness? No, check yourself. What is the best medicine for jaundice? What medicine they get for jaundice? I mean, the natural medicine I'm asking.
Sugar cane, Mataji.
Yeah, sugar cane. So will that person feel that sweet taste? Will they get the sweet taste when they have jaundice?
Not
No,
really.
no, Mataji.
Yeah, they won't get. So how do they know but the disease have cured? But sugarcane is the best medicine for jaundice. And as you take it, what happened one day, you'll start getting the taste, the sweetness. And once you get that sweet, you know the jaundice is cured. No, you yourself can test. You don't have to go to the lab or something. You keep taking sugarcane juice and you're feeling it bitter when you have jaundice. But as you take it, one day you'll be like, you feeling that sweetness and you feel, oh, the jaundice is on. I mean, you understand. Similarly, Prabhupada says, you can check whether you're advancing Krishna consciousness. Am I taste chant? Am I interested to chant or taste of chanting is increasing, or am I increasing my period of reading Prabhupada's books? Am I getting attracted more to devotional things, or am I withdrawing myself from material things? Then you are advancing. Or is it the opposite? Then we are coming down. So there is no stagnant place in Krishna consciousness. You can't remain stagnant. You can't remain stuck. Either you go up, or if you're not going up, you're going down. So we need to advance. And today I was reading Bhagavad. Prabhupada says you should have solid advancement in Krishna consciousness. And I was like thinking about this word, solid advancement. Why did Prabhupada use that solid advancement? In the sense, solid means it cannot be broken. Liquid, it can evaporate or can just flow away, flow somewhere. No, solid advancement, it means it should be fixed. Nishta, like nobody can come and break it. Yeah. So yeah, taste will regain. So the higher taste of Krishna consciousness will come back when we associate with devotees. For that, association is very important. You should associate with devotees. Otherwise, Krishna consciousness will dry off. One who's absorbed in Krishna consciousness loses taste for sense pleasure. Bhakti pareshana bhava virakti anyat prasya. Okay, when you get bhakti, virakti will come. So detachment from material things and attachment to Krishna. Our mind should be attached to something. Either you are attached to Krishna or attached to Maya. The test in spiritual realization is one can work with great vigor without sex pleasure when he avoids. Highest material pleasure in this material world is sex pleasure, and spiritual realization and sex pleasure goes ill together. Krishna conscious person is not attracted to any kind of sense pleasure due to his being a liberated soul. Karmis, they're just working so hard so that they can have sense gratification. But for a devotee, because they already got a higher taste, it's all regulated. It's not like the devotees doesn't enjoy the senses. The devotees also can enjoy senses, in the sense devotee also can have nice footsteps, but after offering to Krishna, right? They can have nice Krishna conscious children. They can have a family, grihastha life, grihastha ashrama, keeping Krishna in the center. Yehi samsparsha javo ga dukkayonaya evate adi antavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end. So the wise man does not delight in them. Okay, so the material pleasures have an beginning and an end. But spiritual is not like that. Sense pleasures are source of misery. It has beginning and end. Liberated souls is not interested in this material pleasures, right? Because he already is enjoying transcendental bliss, Krishna. Mystic derive unlimited transcendental pleasure from the absolute truth. Therefore, the supreme truth is known as Rama. Rama means Ramedi, somebody who gives happiness. So Rama in the Hare Krishna mantra means what? Rama in the Hare Krishna mantra means?
Mataji, Balram.
Balram.
Energy of God, Mataji.
Energy is Hare. Hare is the energy.
Hare, yeah, Hare, sorry.
Rama is?
Mataji, is it Sita Ram?
Okay. Any other answer? Radha Raman. Yeah. Okay, so actually, yes. So Prabhupada mentions in one lecture, he mentions, yes, Rama also will say it refers to Balram, also refers to Sita Ram, also to Parashuram. But then he says the real explanation is Krishna himself becomes Rama. The sense Krishna means all attractive. So first Krishna has become attractive. Then as you keep chanting, Krishna becomes more pleasing to you. Ramedi. Ramedi means who gives pleasure. So the same Krishna, he comes as Rama in the sense his name becomes Rama because he starts giving pleasure. First he is all attractive. Then as you chant, he becomes Rama. So that is, yes, Radha and Madhusudana. Rama means that it's Krishna only. And so that means he's pleasing. Anyway, Keshavadrida, Rama Sharira, it's all one and the same. But this is the meaning. So when we chant, this Hare is the energy of the Lord. Okay. So when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are addressing the energy of the Lord. And what is the meaning of the mantra? We are chanting 16 rounds every day. What is the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra which we are chanting? Nobody knows how long you all are chanting. What are we praying?
Mataji, I think it's
Go ahead.
it's equivalent to the 1,000 names of the Lord Krishna. Mataji, when we chant Hare Krishna.
What is the meaning of the mantra? What are we praying?
Mataji, we are praying to Hare, the power that is Radharani.
Yes.
We are praying and begging her to accept us and take us on the higher level of bhakti. It's basically we are literally asking for mercy.
Yes, yes, good. So actually we are asking, yes, Sharda Mataji, you want to add? You want to add something? Okay, so yes.
Sorry, I was speaking muted form. Sorry, Mataji. I muted and no, I just wanted to add that, we just want to free ourselves from our many kind of material desires and connect with the Almighty, and trying to get rid of all the, free ourselves from everything and the cycle of birth and death maybe.
Yes, so basically we are speaking, yes, Deerak Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We are asking Hare, the energy of the Lord, to please engage us in the service of the Lord. So that is Krishna and Ram.
Yes, Prabhu. So you remove the illusion and need to connect God. See, actually Hare means the Radharani, okay, Krishna's energy, Hare. So we are praying to Hare, as Kripa Mataji said, we are begging her, please engage me, this fallen conditioned soul, engage me in Krishna's service. That's what Hare Krishna Mahamantra means. So when we are praying, we should be so humble and we should pray that Krishna, and we can't request Krishna directly to take us. We need recommendation from Radharani because she is in charge of the devotional service, or she is the one who decides who will get devotional service. So we are going through Radharani by saying that Hare Krishna or Radharani, please request to your Krishna that please engage me in his service. That's it. So we are eternally also, even in this Janma, let us be in his service and let us eternally get his service. So we are actually praying for service, to be involved in service. Okay, so that's what Hare Krishna Mahamantra means. And Hare is Radharani. But why are we not chanting Radha Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Sham, Sham Sham, Radhe Radhe? Or why we are not chanting like that? Why we have Hare in Hare Krishna mantra, not Radharani's name? It's the same now.
Mataji, is it because she's the potency, she's the energy basically, that's the reason?
When you say Radha, Radhe, that's also energy, no? She's Radha Krishna Pranayam Vrikriti Hladini Shakti Rasma. She's Hladini Shakti of the Lord, the internal potency. Yeah, Minal Mataji got it right. Can you say, Mataji? You can unmute.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. It's Radharani. Initially, we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then as Mahamantra proceed, we say it's like Radharani's separation with the Krishna. So that
Yes.
bhav is, separation bhav is there.
Yeah, so that's Vipralambha bhav. That's the highest form actually. Yes, we're not qualified to take out Radharani's name. That is also one thing. But then the Hare Krishna mantra, the Hare means Radha Krishna only, but then in a separation form. Okay, Hare means in separation. Krishna, Radharani is in separation from Krishna. So the Madhurya Ras have two stages. One is togetherness, and another is separation. So when we are in separation, there is more intensity. There's more bhav, as Mother said. That's called Vipralabha bhav, which happened in Kurukshetra, in Puri, that is Jagannath Puri, or in Jagannath Kshetra, Purushottam Kshetra. That's Vipralambha Bhav. Right? Jagannath is Krishna in separation from Radharani, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani in separation from Krishna. That separation bhav is so high. So that's why we say Hare. As Mother said, that's a separation bhav, and that's more potent when you chant Radha Krishna. Okay, when you chant Hare Krishna, that's more potent. So even if when Rajavasis, when you go there, they say Radhe Radhe. But then Prabhupada always greeted them back by saying Hare Krishna. He never said Radhe Radhe, he always say Hare Krishna. So that's one thing. Okay. So here, Lord Rishabhadev teach how human form of life is so special. And he says that we should not work hard like the stool-eaters, hogs, what they do. Nayam deha deha bhajam praloke kasmat kaman arhade vidpuchami tabo divyam putra kayena sattam te abhisyatantra urudam nibatta. So human life should not be used to labor very hard for sense pleasures like the hogs, and human life should be used for performing penances and purifying the existence. As a result of proper penances, we will enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. The conclusion is that the more one is addicted to material pleasure, or one gets trapped to material miseries. Whenever we enjoy, there is always distress also coming. So this is a sloka by Rishabhadev. He is advising his sons. Okay, this is a sloka which I just said. So it said tapo divyam. This human form of life is to do austerity, divyam, and not waste it like hogs. So Lord Rishabhadev told those sons, my dear boys, of all living entities who have accepted material body in the world, one who have been about this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification. So it is said, Manishya Janma Paya, Radha Krishna Nabajiya, Janya Shunya Vishakhaya. Even after getting human form of life, we don't worship Radha Krishna. We are purposely drinking poison. That means we are killing the soul. So Atmahanta, it's called. So this is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. But one should engage in penances and austerities to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and one when attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcends material happiness and which continues forever. So that's the real goal of life, right? True transcendental devotional service. Santnoti Haivaya Sushodham Raksharira Vimokshana Kama Krodho Bhavapegam Sayukta Sa Sukhinara. Before giving up this present body, one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger. He will be well situated and is happy in this world. So this is what Nectar of the Instruction Upadeshamrita says, the first sloka. Right? Vacho vegam manasa krodho vegam jihva vegam uttara basta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhiran sarvam abhimam prithivim sashishyan. So when anybody who can control the urge to tongue, speech, anger, mind, genitals, belly, then he can become a guru. He can have prithivim sashishyan. He can have a shishya or disciples all over the world, and he'll be happy. So controlling our senses is very important. And the first sense to control is what? What is the first sense we should control, and how do you control?
Vacho Vegam Mataji.
You mean speech?
Yes, speech.
Tongue, almost like tongue. Okay, then Sevan Mukhi Jihwado. So how do you control our tongue?
By chanting, taking the Lord's name.
Yes, chanting, and what else?
Eating prasadam.
Prasad. Okay, so tongue can be controlled by yes, Sevan Mukhi Jihwado. So chanting the holy name and taking prasad. If we do that, then all our other senses will get control and the mind will get control. Okay. So here it is said importance of tolerating the urges of the material senses is that the 6 urges, this is the sloka which is said, speech, anger, mind, tongue, stomach, and genitals has to be controlled. Vacho vegam, manasa, krodho vegam, jihva vegam, uddara pasta vegam. When Prabhupada mentions in the purport, you can all read that sloka, Nectar of Instructions, verse 1. Big purport Prabhupada have written. Anyway, after this Bhagavad Gita, we'll be going to NOD, then Ishopanishad, then we'll study NOI anyway. So, but then this sloka, you should know the tongue, stomach, and genitals come in the same lines. Purpose like first control your tongue, genitals get controlled, and the stomach will get controlled, and genitals. So, what duty of a transcendentalist is? It is the duty of transcendentalists to try earnestly to control desire and anger. Material desires, if unsatiated, creates anger. Right, unsatisfied lust will give us anger. So the mind, eyes, and chest become agitated, and one must practice to control them by, because then only we can make steady progress in spiritual path and achieve transcendental bliss. When we are angry, what happens? The breathing increases, and it says the lifespan decrease. Till when do we need to tolerate this? Until death. And how to remain tolerant? By fixing our consciousness and vision. Pleasure of Krishna consciousness combined with the conviction that nothing in this world can bring lasting happiness, which will help us tolerate the pushing of the body and the mind. So the only way is just fixing our mind on Krishna. Yo anta suga antar aramas tatanter jyotirevaya sayogi brahma nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Adigachati, one whose happiness is within, who's active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated with the Supreme and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Okay, that means within. Inside we have our inside we have Krishna as Paramatma. So we need to go inside instead of going out and searching. So one gets the strength to tolerate the sense urge by focusing his happiness and activities and goal inward. A Brahma Buddha state. So once there was a katha, Krishna katha going on, and the lecturer, the person was speaking, he was a devotee, and there was an earthquake. Suddenly the whole building started collapsing, a kind of an earthquake. Everyone started running outside, except the speaker. He was sitting there. Then after 5 minutes, the earthquake stopped and everyone came inside. So they asked the first question, why did you go out? He's like, I was not trying to go out. I was trying to go inside. Since he was meditating on the Lord, and anyway, Ante Narayana Smriti, we are going. So just try to concentrate on Krishna. So that's what he did. So Brahma Buddha state is the liberated platform to enjoy happiness by factual experience and no longer interested in material external happiness. Brahma Buddha prasanna mahana shunchitina kakshati samasarveshu bhuteshu matbhakti labade. So one must get a higher taste. We need to hear, chant, and have good association. Otherwise, we'll be unable to tolerate the urge of senses over time. So Shravanam and Kirtana should go on. Along with that, good association also should be there. So we'll go to the last sloka. Oh, not last is 29. Labante Brahma Nirvana, Shya Kshina Kalmashaha, Chinna Dvaita Yadatmana Sarva Buddha Hideradaha. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living entities, who are free from all sins, achieve liberation with the Supreme. So all these slokas are related to achieve liberation. So highest welfare workers to revive our forgetfulness of Krishna, being the supreme enjoyer, proprietor, and well-wisher. And one cannot engage in such first-class welfare without being liberated in the Supreme. Therefore, only one who is in full Krishna consciousness can perform such welfare. So preaching is also a welfare activity. That's what Mahaprabhu said. Bharat Bhumile Manishi Janma Hoilayar Janma Sarthak Kari Karo Parokar. So we have to make our life successful and make others' life successful. So preaching is the best welfare activity we can do. And Krishna himself says, whoever preaches is very dear to me. So you should spread. So why this Bhakti Shastri degree is not to get a certificate and frame it and keep. It is for preaching. Okay, we should become preachers. If we can't do on an online platform or something, at least preach to our family, relatives. That's why we are doing it. So make our life successful and make others' life successful. Because you have tasted our nice food, you feel like sharing it with others, no? As you share, it increases the taste. So physical or their happiness. Physical welfare or temporary relief of external body and mind is not the real thing. It is imperfect. Why? Because the real causes one's difficulty is in forgetting our relationship with Krishna. Krishna Bhuliya Jiva Bhogavacha Kare. We are forgetting Krishna, and the verse I said, that is about in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that what's the specialty of taking birth in India? Bharat Bhumile Manisha Janma Palayar. Okay, even anybody have taken birth in India, Bharat Bhumile Manisha Janma. If you got a human form of life in the earth or in this Mother Earth or in Bharat Bhumi, you say Bharat Varsha, then Janma Sarthakari Karo Parokar. You have to make your life successful first by chanting the holy name and reading scriptures, and Karo Paropakar. That's preaching. We have to make others' life successful. That's the order from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So our real problem is because we forget our relationship with Krishna. Kama Krodha Vimuktanam Yantinam Yata Chetasam Abhido Brahma Nirvanam Vartade Viditatmanam. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. Okay, so this is about pure devotees. A Krishna conscious person is best of all self-possessed. Because effective control of senses is done by focusing on the lotus feet of Lord, which uproots all the deep-grown desires of ignorance. Okay, does anyone know this analogy? How a tortoise, fish, or a bird meditate on their young ones, children? How does a tortoise meditate on the children? How does it make it grow? How does a fish do? Take the book and search 5.26 per bird.
The fish stays away from its
Yes.
babies.
And how does it? Just by how does it make the children grow? Or
it just
Yes.
yes, Mata. Even the tortoise, it just simply brings it off, like it stays away and just meditates upon it.
Yes,
And
it
it
goes to
gives
the
it lays its egg on the land actually, and then it is in as the tortoise, it is meditating on eggs. While tortoise doesn't live on the land, it goes into the water.
Yes, and what about fish? Just by looking.
Fish, yeah, it just stays away and does not touch its babies, I guess, Mataji.
Yeah, so the
That's
same
what-
way, we are away from Krishna, but then we can meditate on the Lord, right? And that's the best way is Kalikale Namarupe Krishna Avatare. Kali Yuga, Krishna has come in his holy name. And also Krishna has come in form of Bhagavad Gita, right? In his form of devotees, temple, and Charanamrit and whatnot, Tulsi. Now all this is Krishna. So when we can meditate on the Lord, similarly, how the tortoise and everything. So here it is said, the tortoise brings up its offering simply by meditation. The eggs of the tortoise are laid on the land, and the tortoise meditates on the eggs while in the water. Goes to the land, lays the eggs and come back, and then inside the water, he starts meditating on the eggs. And fish brings up its offering simply by looking at them. It doesn't have to do anything. And birds maintain the offering by touching. Similarly, a devotee in Krishna consciousness, although far away from Lord's abode, can elevate himself to the abode simply by thinking of him constantly, by engagement in Krishna consciousness. The best thing is the chanting the holy name. That's the best thing. How we can think about Krishna, right? So how a tortoise brings his offering by meditating on the eggs, fish just by looking, birds just by touching. Similarly, a Krishna conscious person just by thinking about the Lord can elevate. So this is a Bhakti Shastri question, okay? This can come as a closed book question also, how this analogies. All the analogies are very important. You should go through the closed book question once to see how these analogies are important. Last class exam, they had like 4 or 5 analogies came. So Brahma Nirvana is a state of absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme. That's the pure devotee state, Brahma Nirvana state. Chakshush Chaivantare Pranapanav Samam Nasabhyantara Charino Yadendriya Manobuddhir Nirmoksha Parayanaha Vigatecha Bhaya Kruto Yashada the Evasaha. Shutting out all our external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the 2 eyebrows, suspending inward and outward breath within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. Transcendence we may at liberation become free from desires, fear, and anger. One is always in the state can be liberated, can certainly be liberated. So this is a point of what we do, the Ashtanga yogis. But then for a devotee, we don't have to forcefully do it, because See, this is a preliminary explanation on Ashtanga Yoga. So this is a connecting to the next chapter. 6th chapter is about Dhyana Yoga. So this is a link, this sloka connecting to the next chapter. The Krishna consciousness as transcendental position of liberation is the supreme, right? It includes all these. So one understand one spiritual position, that of the Supreme Lord, and is qualified to feel the presence of Lord. And Ashtanga Yoga also helps becoming free from all fear, desire, and anger, control the sense, mind, and intelligence, and they feel the presence of super soul, right? And conclusion is that Krishna consciousness is the easiest form of yoga. And Krishna himself says, Yoginam api sarvesham adgadenandaratmam shraddhavan vajate umam sameta tamo madaha. But of all the yogis, Bhakti yogi is the highest. And Krishna conscious person, being always engaged in devotional service, does not risk losing his senses to some engagement. Thus, it's a better way of controlling the senses than Ashtanga Yoga. Prabhupada says, we Krishna conscious person also have senses, but senses compared to what? The devotee senses are compared to what?
Hare Krishna Mataji, serpent.
Yes?
Serpent Mataji.
Serpent, good. Yeah, serpent whose poisonous teeth is taken away. No? So the senses are compared to serpents or the snakes, but for a devotee, the senses are like the snakes whose poisonous teeth is taken away. If a poisonous teeth of a snake is taken away, is it dangerous? No, it's not dangerous. We're not afraid of a non-poisonous snake. Even if it bites, there's no risk in the life. There's no danger. So similarly, devotee also have sense, but then the poisonous teeth is taken away in the sense, no material sense gratification for a devotee. He use everything, all his senses in serving the master of sense. Rishikena, Rishikesha. So as the last sloka, very important sloka, the peace formula Prabhupada mentions. Bhoktaram ityatavasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sudritam sarvabhutanam nyata mam shanti pritchati. This is a sloka for memorization also. Very important sloka says, a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerity, supreme lord of all the planets and demigods, and benefactor and well-wisher of all living entity, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. So the three things is, Krishna is the supreme controller, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and he is our only well-wishing friend. That's a peace formula. You can see the peace formula, very important peace formula. So Karma Yoga as action in full consciousness is practical application of Krishna consciousness. A pure soul is the eternal servant of God as fragmental part and parcel. And cause of our suffering is because we are contacted Maya. Okay, illusion to desire it or to load it over material nature. And in Krishna consciousness, there is an arousing of spiritual experience in the material world and brings one to the spiritual life, while one is the jurisdiction of Lord is not partial to anyone, but reciprocates according to our approach. Ashtanga Yoga is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness. And highest perfection of life is only devotional service can award peace to humanity. To understand Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, and well-wishing friend. Okay. So last class, we had a breakout room. This week, there's a discussion to complete the chapter. Okay, so everyone got their, they saw the marks now. So try to improve wherever you went wrong. And next time, try to, no more open book questions this time. Now next is only closed book. So I request all of you to study. Pravina Mataji, did I share the question bank with you? Not the handbook. There's a separate question bank. Is that shared?
No, not
First 6 chapters? No? So just remind me, I'll send it to you. And it's not like in the handbook. So in the handbook, yes, some questions are there, but this is particularly on your closed book assessment. This is a question bank of first 6 chapters. Prepare them. Just prepare the short notes, short questions. Okay, not the lengthy ones. Yes, Prajesh Prabhu.
Oh, Hare Krishna Mataji, you have sent it, Mataji. Like once you had sent it in the group, it's there.
Okay, can you repost it, Prabhu, if you
Yeah,
have?
yeah. Yes,
Just
Mataji.
see and repost so that all of them can see. And there's so many questions. from chapter 1 to chapter 6. So don't prepare the open book, only the closed ones. Okay, so there's short closed book questions. The question for closed book will come from that one, because from next week we'll do chapter 6, and I think we can complete chapter 6 in 2 or 3 class. And so after 1 month you might have a closed book exam. Okay, so be ready and start preparing now itself. And slokas also, there will be sloka chanting. So there will be 10 questions, out of which you have to write only 8, and there will be short questions, just 3-4 lines is enough, 5 marks each, and it's will be out of 40. And sloka chanting will also be there. You have to study the sloka and come in a Zoom call and chant the sloka along with translation. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any question? Yes, Minal Mat.
Yes, Mataji, for that also we need to give references and all, like 3-4.
No. Short note, short questions, no reference and all. Just what the answer to the point. That's it. Okay. 3 slokas, Shuddha Mataji. At least 3 slokas should be recited. Sloka, and the translation may not be word to word from the text, from the book. Whatever you understood, you can just say. Okay, please fill that trans form. And Mataji, sadhana chart has been posted now every week. Okay, please fill that also. And your 2 open books questions are over. Book back assessment. Next is closed book and sloka. After 6 chapters, we will do that. We'll try to finish fast because senior batch already have finished. I went slow for them, but this batch is fast. Okay. So we are done here. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Mataji. Panchakal Madhubasha, Kripasana Devacha, Patitana Pamni, Vaishnavi. Krishna Ki Jai, Shraddha Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.